Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, after this inspiring speech of the former President of the European Council, Herman van Rompuy, I would now like to present to you three people who have their own visions and ideas about the future of Europe. Over a period of a few weeks, the EPP has done a contest on Facebook asking a number of questions on the future of Europe. Many people, mostly young people, participated in this and have sent us their ideas. Together with Herman van Rompuy, we conducted interviews and we finally selected three people. And today we would like to give those three people the chance to present their ideas. So please welcome with me now Manuel Zarb from Malta, Marcida Bandili from Albania, and Pavel Trojanowski from Poland. Please join me here. So, Manuel, how would you describe from your point of view, I have to say you are 18 years old, how would you describe the European Union of today, and what would you like to see different in the European Union of tomorrow?
I think that the EU today has made people's lives better. It's changed the identity of being European. We're going to war with each other, going to conflict with each other in that way is unimaginable. For many, Europe means a better life and the opportunity to pursue happiness. But increasingly, in my view, today's EU is distant from the everyday lives of Europeans, of young people especially. People are scared. They're scared of migration. They're scared of economic crisis. They're scared of terrorism. And above all, they're scared that Europe cannot fix these problems. What I want to see in the future is a Europe that works, which people can believe in. The Europe I dream of is one where things are looking up because we have worked to solve the big problems of the day. And above all, Europe must work to provide opportunities so that people will care about a better future, and they will care enough to act themselves to build it.
Coming from the south of Europe, or more specifically from Malta, that has also, well, it's already a few years ago, but it has also faced quite a challenge with migration coming via the Mediterranean from Africa. How do you perceive this question at the moment, and what would be your advice on this?
There's two main things that I want to say on migration. First of all, as a Maltese person, we, along with Greece, along with Italy, have felt the effects of migration for a very long time. We have felt these effects for years now. And we know too well the responsibility when a vulnerable person arrives on your doorstep with nothing to their name. I agree fully with the idea of burden sharing, but I believe that the EU should take into account that member states which have already received refugees, that should be factored into the amount of refugees that they're expected to take, into the quota system assigned to them. And the second thing I'd like to say, migration is a test of something far more important than being European. Migration is a test of our humanity. I believe that people are fundamentally good in nature. And if migration is handled honestly, if it is handled well and with solidarity by national governments and by the European Union, then most Europeans will be glad to open their homes, to open their countries, to protect our brothers and sisters from war-torn countries when they need us the most. Migration is a challenge. It challenges us every day to prove that we are European. It challenges us every day to prove that we believe in people. And it challenges us, faced by adversity, to hold the principle of human dignity above all else. That is what I believe.
Thank you very much. I would then come to Marcida. In your proposal for the future of Europe that you have sent us, you say we need to advance our political union. How would you do it, and what are your arguments for that?
Well, first of all, let me start by saying that I'm quite honored to be with you tonight, and I hope that the ideas we are all of us sharing together will contribute to make better decisions about Europe and to have a brighter future in the European Union. So the biggest challenge and question that we ask is, what is the future of Europe going to look like? It's a very difficult question to answer, especially because we are all witnessing extraordinary times for Europe. But before I give my opinion about the future of the greatest political project in Europe, I want to reflect a little bit on what is our present and where we are standing right now. So Europe is facing, to me, a high debt. It's facing a slow economic progress. There is a lot of challenges that we are headed to, starting from the refugee crisis, which is at the same time a humanitarian crisis. We are facing probably a possible Brexit, a high rise of Euroscepticism, particularly among people that come from old member states. But put all together, we have somehow contributed to increasing the gaps. There are certain gaps that have to be closed in Europe. The first of all is the big gap between the levels of development of North and Southern countries, which is highly reflected in the quality of life of the European citizens. Second of all, we have a high gap as well at the same time in the equality of richer and poorer countries. We have a big gap into the educational skills that we provide to our young people and what the labor market is asking for that. We have a big gap in the representation of member states into the European Parliament. Is the European Parliament reflecting right now the diversity that we have in Europe? Are all groups represented at the European Parliament, including here young people? Because European Parliament has to be about inclusion and about involving this diversity that we have in Europe, and you have to keep that, and we have to make sure that we protect that. So there is a big gap in the ways that decision-making processes are evolving around the European Union. We have experts, we have professionals, we have young people, we invite them in roundtables, and we talk and we discuss about the future of Europe, but they are not there. They are not in the table of decision-making process in Europe. So for that, I call for a political union. For that, we need a sole voice, responsible and accountable for when crisis and when things don't go right in Europe. This is very necessary to have that. And in addition of a political union, we should foster a debate about the future of Europe, which involves young people and old people at the same time. They are not opposing each other. Young people and old people, they should be brought into the same table because they can make a good contribution to bringing creativity, imagination, and solving some of the challenges that we are facing nowadays. And before I conclude, I also believe that we should foster the European identity. If I ask you right now, how do you feel or where do you come from? Most of you will say, I am Albanian, as I am, or you would say, I am Italian or I'm Spanish, and so on and so forth. I believe it is time for Europe to invest on a common European identity and to foster that all over Europe through involving civic education through our schools and our education system in such a way that we can feel Europeans and we can be proud to be Europeans. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marcida. And then finally, coming to Pavel. You have described in your essay, you were born in socialist Poland. what does it mean for you and your country to have become a member of the European Union? What does it mean for you to be European? And I ask that question also in a time where in Poland we can see quite a backlash against, let's say, some achievements of liberal democracy, some achievements which have come since 1989. How do you perceive the situation?
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Szanowny Panie Prezydencie, tomorrow I will back to Poland, so let me put a little official statement. I'm not here to report on Polish government. I'm not here to climb to Polish government. I'm here because I win the competition about the future of Poland. Yesterday, I saw a picture in the internet. It was in significant. It was in Russians. There was signs. There was two birds, crow and parrot. And the crow asked the parrot, "Почему ты в клетке?" And the parrot, "Why are you in the cage?" And the parrot answered, "Потому что я говорю," because I can speak human language. And you know, what means to me now to be European, to be the citizen of the European Union? It means to me to be a freedom, to have freedom, to be the participant on the big family, to be together with all you on this Congress hall. You know, I was born in 1978 in socialist Poland, and among the images from my childhood, I remember the people who were afraid to talk openly about many things. I remember the gray blocks of flats, slogans about Polish-Soviet friendship and policy, and fear connected with the nuclear weapon and notorious terrible threat from the USA and Western Europe. I remember that. There was no goods in shops. There was no roads, but also there was no cars. You know, the picture of the former Poland was gray, and now the picture is colorful. But you know, I agree with Marcida, because we have to remember that nothing is giving to us one for a lifetime. And I'm sure that we should not teach our children what the European Union is, but we should teach them how to be a citizen of the European Union, especially how to be active one. And I'm sure that we should not teach them what is entrepreneurship, but how to be a good entrepreneur. And let me say, at the end of my speech, because I have two mentors in my life. The first is John Paul II, Saint Pope. And he say, "Don't be afraid, nie lękajcie się, non abbiate paura." And we have to act now. We have to be active. Don't promote passivity. Don't give people money for nothing. Encourage activity. And the second of my mentors is my died grandmother. And she used to say, "God doesn't like laziness. So first work, then pray." Not in the opposite way. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Pavel, and thanks to all three of you. Of course, this was a snapshot, not more than
Yes.
that. I mean, we cannot organize a debate on the future of Europe in 15 minutes.
Maybe in the future.
But that was the time slot that was given, so I stick to it. But in any case, I think you have a lot to tell, and I think it is a good idea also to keep in touch with you, because of course we can see that the debate on the future of Europe has just begun. And for the EPP, this will certainly for the coming year be one of the key focal points. It is not an easy debate to discuss about the future in a time where you have to face crisis on every corner, but we have to do it, and we have to do it at this moment. And we will do it, and we will certainly also involve you. You all know we have an expert group chaired by Herman van Rompuy, Elmar Brok, and we will tackle the issue, and we are looking forward to hopefully and soon come up with proposals. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.